Diane Foster, she's in shock. She's been wandering around all night. The SHO says she's got a history of self-mutilation, and she does have some scars on her arm. But whatever the case, she's been assaulted as well.
I strongly suspect you've been raped.
I told you I haven't been raped.
If I tell you who I think did this, can you promise me that you'll lock him up?
I'm picking up someone, a man called Walsh. Paul, I need Walsh looking at as well.
Hello, Doctor. My name's Kate Durrani. I'll be representing Mr. Walsh today.
Hello, I'm Dr. Dangerfield, Mr. Walsh.
Listen, I've seen what he's done to you, and I think you should tell me so that the police can lock him up.
She's just an incredible liar. She'll convince anybody. I reckon, and I mean this, I reckon she's even convinced herself that I did it.
Got any evidence, have you?
He was very careful not to provide any. He had a shower.
Oh, yes, had a wash. You asked him that, didn't you? He says he has one every morning, like most people.
Well, actually, I didn't today. I didn't have the time.
Mr. Walsh, free to go.
They've nothing to keep him on, no evidence.
He's a rapist, you know. He's dangerous.
Good evening, I'm Dr. Dangerfield. I've been asked to carry out a blood test.
He's been here. And he's... Oh, please. Help me.
I was hoping you wouldn't be available.
How much have you had?
Large whiskey.
And?
Oh, maybe 2 or 3. What kind of a partner are you?
How long since the last one?
An hour and a half.
What happened? Just got stopped?
A car. Stopped too fast. Backed into me.
What, like your gatepost the other night?
There was a time when the police surgeon would have taken his own blood rather than stitch up his partner.
Yeah, that would be conspiracy.
The trouble with you, Paul, is you're full of ethics. It's an automatic 3-year ban, the partnership ruined, and the police surgeon, part of it, doesn't care.
Yeah, he cares. He cares. He cares about all the other gateposts that you might have killed tonight. Okay.
I was called out to a child. Oh, he's very sick, doctor. When I got there he was, sitting with all the others in front of the telly, sucking a lolly and watching EastEnders, and all he got was a bad cold, and they had the nerve to demand that I give him antibiotics for it. Demanded them, as if it was the rest of his sweet ration. They come in demanding drugs. Hey. Look at this. How'd it got off in the old days before this blood test lark? How am I going to face up to everybody?
Well, after you left last night, we agreed I should talk to you anyway. Not quite the venue I had in mind, but...
So you knew I was drinking too much? I honestly believe that this problem hasn't affected my ability as a doctor. Do you believe that?
Yes, I do.
Diane, it's Nicky Green. Remember me? How did you get these, love?
All right to leave? Oh, I don't know about that. Oh, come on, Sarge. I'll guarantee you won't drive this evening. He can leave his car keys at reception and come and pick them up in the morning, yeah?
All right, Doc. You'll owe me one.
All right, come on then.
Thank you.
Have you rung Jean? Let her know you're okay.
No, I'd rather wait till I get home.
Paul, I need you at the hospital. Diane Foster's been attacked.
Just like she did before when the self-harm team saw her. Superficial cuts to the left arm.
Paul, I was with her just before this happened, and she seemed all right.
Diane.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Dad must have been called out.
Yeah.
Go in.
Is this your mother?
It was my mother, yeah.
She was very beautiful.
Yeah, she was. Do you want some coffee?
Lovely.
Okay.
Diane. Did he come back? Look, did you do this? Or did he?
What do you think?
Well, it's difficult to say. She could have done it herself. Then again, it could have been made to look that way.
Walsh could have got in.
Any sign of forced entry?
No.
She's so scared she could have let him in. Any weapon?
No.
It's no good. She's not going to talk to you in this state.
Doctor, we had a man held on suspicion for this, but we couldn't charge him, so we had to release him. Now we've all seen what he's capable of. I think it's in Diane's best interests and the public at large if she makes a statement identifying Walsh.
I've tried. Last night. In fact, before all this happened, she was ready to talk to you, but now, well...
We need your help with this.
So does she. I'm her doctor. All right, one last time, but then it's down to you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Train 5. Jane, what an afternoon.
No.
No, it's not very romantic.
Neither is this. Mark, no. Mark, I mean it. I said no.
It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
Mark, please stop it.
Come on. I've got something with me. You'll be safe.
I don't care. Mark, I said stop it. Just let go of my arm. Mark. Mark, let go of my arm. Mark!
What'd you have to do that for?
To win. Now get out. Just go. Get out.
Diane.
I told you. I told you this had happened.
Diane, they need to know whether he did this or whether you did it to yourself. Diane, talk to them. They want to go out now and arrest him, but they need your statement. They can't.
No.
Well, that's it, I'm afraid. I can't get anywhere. Sorry.
Okay. Thanks for trying.
Was worth a try. You want the good news now?
What?
I was called out to do a blood test on a drink driver, and guess who I found there? Nick. Coast clear? You okay?
Yeah. You?
Yeah. I thought you were going out with Mark.
I did. Then we came home, and then he left.
Oh. I didn't get the chance to talk to him.
Didn't miss much. Oh, yeah, you did. Marty phoned.
How is he?
He's okay, he's fine. He's got a job.
Where?
Didn't say.
Has he got a supply of insulin?
Yeah, he has. He's found a doctor. Dad, we've just got to let him go through this, okay? If we do, I'm sure he'll come home. All right, night.
Night.
Yes.
Kate, hi, it's Paul.
Oh, hello, Paul.
Look, I hope you don't mind me ringing so late. I just thought maybe we might mend some fences.
Hi or no ones?
Well, preferably both.
What, like a meeting of minds?
Sure, why not? Listen, Kate, I'm trying to make an apology here.
Sounds like it. Look, why don't you call me tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, night.
Night, Paul.
David Walsh, arrested on suspicion of causing grievous bodily harm.
Victorian Health Centre? Yes, he is. Hold on.
Morning, Julia.
DC briefing for you.
Right, is Nick in yet?
No, not yet.
Right, well, I suppose you've heard.
Yes,
Okay, we're going to have to cover for him for a bit.
of course. Don't worry. We're used to it by now.
Yes, hello, Nicky. I think you remember me.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you consent to me examining you again?
Well, I'd like my solicitor here first, if you don't mind.
Which solicitor's that?
She was duty solicitor when I was first arrested.
Kate Durrani.
That's the one.
This is ridiculous. We've got one partner who's going to be grounded and another one who might as well live at the police station.
If we've got a spare cell, perhaps we could set up our practice down there.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Mrs. Hargreaves has just walked out. She's been kept waiting for over an hour.
All right, Julia, thanks. We've got to sort something out, Siobhan. I would like another meeting again tonight, please, yeah? You with me?
Now, was I ever against you, Joanna? Joanna, I know it's against your religion, but can we leave out court-martials and things till we've sorted out surgery? I've been doing 5-minute turnarounds. Can you do the same till they come back?
We'll have to, won't we?
Thank you.
So this girl, who's with you all night, was she?
I told you. I'll talk when my solicitor gets here.
Give us a name, it'll save a lot of time later. And by the time your solicitor gets here, you could be out of here. If your alibi checks out, you've got nothing to worry about, have you?
I'll talk when my solicitor gets here.
Victoria Health Centre.
Excuse me.
Just one moment. I'm terribly sorry,
Look,
but one
I've got
Dr.
to be back
Shortland.
at work in 5 minutes. I've been sat here for over an hour. Is there any chance I could see a doctor?
Oh, Dr. Hamada, please.
It's all right. We're catching up. Tell her 5 minutes no more and apologize. Tell her she gets air miles for every 20 minutes wait.
It'll be 5 minutes. Good morning, Doctor.
Di, I'm off. All right? Just lock up and stay inside. And don't worry. Just keep telling yourself the police have got him. Yeah? You've got my work number.
Right, okay. This is what I wanted to say to you. I'm obviously not up to it anymore. I think perhaps it's time I quit. What do you think, Paul?
It's up to you, Nick. I mean, if you can manage, we can.
How would you get around with a 3-year driving ban?
That's simple. We'll do his visits, he'll do our surgeries.
Uh-huh. Trouble is, patients like to keep to their own doctors, don't they? They don't really like being passed around.
Okay, so you retire. And how do we replace you? How do we replace your experience?
Nick, you decide. I'm late for my home visits.
Joanne?
Yeah.
Any update on Diane?
No. I've been thinking, though, supposing I gave evidence as her doctor.
She's got to testify herself, otherwise there isn't a case.
Yeah, seems fine. Thank you very much.
There's nothing I could find on Walsh this time. No injuries, no blood, nothing. I don't know. Perhaps she cut herself this time. Perhaps she cut herself the first time. Perhaps she's leading us up the garden path. I don't know, but I just feel that Walsh is responsible. I know it. What plays intuition in medicine, Nick?
It has a hell of a lot to do with it. Sometimes it's the difference between a good doctor and a bad.
Diane, are you in there? What do you want? I want to talk to you. Please open the door.
Want some?
No, thanks. So what do you want? I want you to stop all this. Do you, Doctor? What do you know? I know this much. I know that this time you were lucky you got off lightly. Savage rape, assault, your arm slashed. I also know that next time you won't be so lucky. Next time we'll find you in some ditch and have to drag your body out of it.
You don't know what it's like. You don't know how I feel. Before you've come round to the bush,
I came round here to ask you to say, for the first time in your life, I'm worth more than...
Leave me alone!
What's going to happen if it doesn't stop, Diane?
I can't stop. How can I stop it? I can't help it. It's not my bloody fault. You don't know. What is it with you? Did you get off on doing this or what?
All I know is that if you're strong enough to withstand all the self-destruction, then you're strong enough to put a stop to it. Simple.
Yeah, now you're going to tell me I'm strong enough to make a statement. And strong enough to stand up in court and have my life trashed in front of everybody.
Yeah, but I'm going to be there to help you.
But it won't be your life they'll be trashing, will it? It'll be mine!
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. But you know something, Diane? This time you can take control.
That's enough.
This time you can do something about it for yourself.
Stop it! Just stop it! You're making it worse! Can't you see you're making it worse?
No, it's not impossible, Nick.
No, look, you give me 2 good reasons why I should stay, and I'll give you 3 why I shouldn't.
Okay. Who built up this practice?
First.
Second, who's got more experience than any one of us?
Doesn't matter how much experience I've got if I can't get to use it.
You are important to a lot of people, Nick.
People don't want a drunk as their doctor.
All right. What does Jean say about this? Have you had a chance to speak to her?
She wants me at home with her.
And obviously that's what you want.
Well, don't need to work. No money problems, decent pension, that sort of thing. But, oh God, Savannah, I don't know.
What? Tell me, what?
Well, this is where I live, what I do. If I start now, I'd die of boredom in no time at all. What I do best is being a doctor.
Ah, but think of all those things you and Jean have always wanted to do. All those places you wanted to visit. All those unbroken nights. All that wonderful sleep.
Sapin, I have. And it frightens me. It frightens me to death. Sort of not being able to use my skills anymore, of being useless.
Well, you've answered your own question, haven't you?
Yes. Yes, I suppose I have, haven't I? Well, the question now is, how do I make it work? How do we make it work?
Nick, when I first came to this cold, wet country, you welcomed me. You gave me your time, your respect, your support. As a doctor, you inspired me. As a friend, you always stood by my side. Well, I think it's time now for all of us to help you. Okay? We'll sort something out. But please, give up the booze. Or try and cut down on it.
I'll try. Of course, I'll try.
I'll make a Muslim of you yet.
The lab hasn't come through with a full forensic yet, but they say the hair that you found on Walsh's watch matches Diane Foster's.
Yeah, it might have been there from when she met him in the pub, you know.
Yeah, so what's the good news?
You tell me.
There isn't any. We've had to let Walsh out again. Got a good brief.
Right, so what do you want to ask me?
Paul, we've got to get the prime witness. We've got to get Diane to make a statement.
Well, you want me to have a go?
No, I want you to get Dr. Stevens to have a go.
No, she won't. She's already tried.
Walsh is our man, right? There isn't anybody else even in the frame. Your partner's the only person who's got anywhere near Diane. She's got to try again.
Paul, I'm not discussing my patient with you.
Oh, come on, Joanna, you're involved. I mean, you got to talk to her.
I did, Paul. I talked to her, remember? I went out last night to see her and again this morning. I mean, just suppose this guy does go on trial. What if he gets 2 years, or God forbid, gets off entirely? I mean, he's just got to come back and terrorise her all over again, and that will finish her, Paul. As a doctor, I can't take that risk. All I can do is my best to protect her.
I just can't believe that you let a man like Walsh go free. I mean, if we can get Diane into that witness box, she and other potential victims will be free of him.
Have you actually thought through what will happen if she gets into that witness box? Have you thought through what they're going to throw at her? The self-mutilation, the fact that she cuts her own flesh to draw attention to herself, the fact that she has a string of failed and violent relationships. I mean, how's she going to cope with that? And what if the jury don't believe her? Have you thought about that, Paul?
Lab came through on Walsh. They found blood on some of the nail clippings, and it's a DNA match for Diane's.
We've got him.
No, we haven't. Probably get him on the assault, but not the rape, not until she's made a statement.
Well, let's bring him back in. Go for him on the forensic and see how he answers it.
Diane Foster wants a word.
Diane. I've decided. I'm going to tell the police. I'll make a statement. You'll be there, won't you?
You know I'll be there.
I want him put away. I want him put away for as long as possible. I want to be safe.
David, we've got the evidence. We've got her blood. We've got her hair. Did you know that she was prepared to give evidence herself?
I'm not surprised. She's mad. She's been obsessed with me since the day I finished with her. Look, there's something I haven't told you. What happened in the pub that night was... she came over to me, right? She was coming on strong, and she wanted it. So we went to the graveyard and we had sex. Afterwards, she said we should get back together, and I said no. And that's when she lost it. Started slashing her arms. I freaked. So I grabbed her. I tried to stop her.
Why didn't you tell us about this before?
Because you would have used it against me, wouldn't you? Look, I want a private word with my solicitor.
Interview suspended, 6:18.
You, David Walsh, are charged that on June the 14th this year you did rape Diane Foster, contrary to Section 1 of the Sexual Offences Act of 1956. You do not have to say anything unless you wish to do so, but anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand?
So, Kate, how did you come to be involved with defending this guy in the rape case?
I was allocated the case and he wanted me to stay on it.
But Dad gives evidence. So doesn't that mean you'll be questioning him for the defence? I mean, is that allowed, seeing as you two know each other?
It happens all the time. Besides, we're both professionals, aren't we?
Well, extremely professional. Kate takes care of a client, and I just tell the truth.
So, did you do it then?
Of course he did. It's a DNA match. I mean, how can you question it? It's open and shut.
Walsh has an explanation for that.
Really? Yeah.
Yes, he admits they had sex with her full consent.
And you believe it?
Doesn't matter if I believe it. It's his defence.
Oh, pack of lies, you mean? What other questions are you going to be asking me?
Let's face it, Diane Foster is a self-inflictor. She could have easily caused those wounds herself. You say so in your report.
Yeah, let's just drop it, shall we? Sorry. Just don't think we should be representing this man.
And we said we'd be professional. Well, look, he's innocent until proven guilty.
I know that, but I'm talking about truth, not the tactics of a defence lawyer.
Why do you think we evolved the criminal justice system? Because of people like you. I mean, who's more likely to reach the truth, you or a court through a unanimous decision after due process?
I know Walsh is guilty.
Should be fun in court.
Nick. Oh, Paul. Hello.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just looking for something.
Well, this time enough.
Yes. Actually, I'm just looking for all those notes that I'm supposed to have mislaid. I still think it's Julia, you know, not me. Trying to make amends. I am trying, you know.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't had a drink since that night.
Yeah, you're in court tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So am I.
Mine's a foregone conclusion. What about yours?
Don't know. Quite scared, actually.
Hmm?
Yeah, I haven't slept properly the last few weeks. I don't want to see him get off. Don't want to face Kate if she gets him off.
But I thought you told me that the evidence against him was absolute.
Yeah, it is. No, it is, yeah. Open and shut.
Al, are you about?
Yeah, in here.
Can we do some questions?
Thought you said you didn't need to.
Yeah, I know, but I think we ought to, because I need to be certain.
Yeah, all right. Come on then. Right, so they've proved the samples match, and you took those samples. So let's deal with that.
Right.
So you took the samples,
Yes, I did.
and you examined her cuts, but you weren't shown any weapon which could have made the cuts.
That's correct. You're very good at this, you know. You should think of going in for the law.
How many times have I done this? Right, next question. You examined both Mr. Walsh and Diane Foster. Why?
Well, that's because there was no other doctor available to do... Walsh.
What's wrong?
Why did you ask me that?
Why, what is it?
No, come on, why did you ask me that?
Well, because it's best not to examine
But the suspect and the victim, and why is it best not to?
Because it's unfair.
No, much more serious than that. My God, what have I done?
Dad, what's wrong? Dad, who are you phoning? Dad?
I've got to go. I'll be back later. I examined both Walsh and Diane.
Yeah, I asked you to. You were the only police surgeon available.
Yeah, I know that, but I didn't change between examinations. I should have. I could have picked up that hair on my own clothes from Diane and transferred it to Walsh's watch.
Yeah, OK, but what about the blood on the nails? You couldn't have done that. How could you have transferred that?
Yeah, but you know juries, Ken. If they get confused about one thing, it'll cloud the rest. They're more likely to believe his explanation.
All rise.
Excuse me. Hi. Well, she's here. About as ready as she ever will be.
Dr. Paul Dangerfield.
You
are Paul Dangerfield, police surgeon to this county.
I am.
Doctor, on the 15th of June this year, did you examine my client, David Walsh, at Wigton Police Station?
Yes, I did.
Did he allow you to take samples of head hair, blood, saliva and nail clippings?
Yes, he did.
So he was fully cooperative?
Yes.
Doctor, in your statement you say you asked if my client had bathed and changed that day.
Yes.
In fact, you asked if he'd changed the clothes he had worn from the previous night.
Yes.
Doctor, did you also examine Diane Foster that same day?
Yes, I did.
Was that before or after you examined my client?
It was before.
What did you take from her?
Samples of blood and hair.
Dr. Dangerfield, between these examinations, had you bathed or showered?
No, I hadn't.
No? Well, had you changed your clothes?
No.
No. Doctor, you hold a diploma in medical jurisprudence. You are qualified and approved by the police as a police surgeon.
Yes.
Then you know you should have washed and changed between examining an alleged victim and a suspect to avoid contamination of evidence.
Yes.
Then why didn't you?
I was under pressure.
Doctor, is it fair to suggest that it is possible you could have picked up a hair from Diane Foster and transferred it to Mr. Walsh's watch, and in doing so contaminated the evidence?
It's highly unlikely. The hair might be possible, but not the blood.
Yes, the blood. Well, I'll deal with that in due course.
I'm sorry, there's nothing I could do.
Well, let's just hope it's a sensible jury.
Dr. Joanna Stevens.
Dr. Stevens, your patient, Diane Foster, has a history of self-infliction. Is that correct?
Yes, that's true.
Could you outline, in general terms, for the benefit of the jury, the characteristics exhibited by the self-inflictor?
Usually it involves injuring themselves in some way, hurting themselves.
We understand that, Doctor, but what kind of injuries do they inflict on themselves? For example?
Usually they cut themselves on their arms, their legs, sometimes, in extreme cases, their chest.
Doctor, what, in your opinion, would be the mental state of somebody who's driven to such extreme acts of violence towards themselves?
Acute mental pain and anxiety are usually the main reasons for their actions. Childhood abuse, parental neglect all contribute to this state, and unfortunately they then punish themselves for what they see as their own personal inadequacies.
In your statement, Your Honour, could the doctor please refer to a copy of her statement?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. I wouldn't like to take unfair advantage. In your statement, you say that, in your opinion, your patient had been seriously assaulted. Do you mean she was raped?
I consider she was, yes.
What formed that opinion?
Well, from the findings of my examination, the samples I took...
Match that of David Walsh. That is not the question here, Doctor. Consent is the issue. I ask you again, what formed your opinion that Diane Foster had been raped?
There was severe bruising on her upper thighs.
Yes. Now, keeping in mind your patient's history of self-infliction, what do you think caused this bruising?
Fingertips.
Fingertips. Hardly a sign of force being used, is it? Doctor, is it possible the bruising could have been self-inflicted?
In my opinion, no.
No? Were you aware that Diane Foster had been seen on at least 2 separate occasions by the self-harm team? That is, prior to the time she came to you with these injuries and a report was made.
I was not aware of that at the time, no. I found out later.
No, you found out later. Thank you, Doctor. No further questions, Your Honour.
But the shape and placing of the bruising was such that it would have been physically impossible for Diane to have inflicted them upon herself. These marks could only be made by someone else leaning on her with great force, as in a situation of rape.
No further questions, Your Honour.
go?
He's
not been
No, it's still going on.
Oh,
It's just that I made a bit of a...
pause up.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we all do. We're only human.
Let's just hope that Diane holds up.
And after that, could you tell the jury what happened after that?
I cut myself.
And what did you use on that occasion?
A glass. A broken glass.
How did this display affect David Walsh? Miss Foster, how did this display affect David Walsh?
He said he never wanted to see me again.
How long ago was that?
I don't know, last year sometime.
Have you inflicted injuries on yourself since then?
Yes. You know I have.
How many times?
I can't remember.
You can't remember? The answer is 3, isn't it? Once with a razor blade, once with a pair of scissors, and the last time with a broken mirror. Miss Foster, I suggest that on the night in question you made a last-ditch attempt to persuade David Walsh to return to you. When he said no, you cut yourself, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Just like you did on many previous occasions. Then made it look to the outside world as though David Walsh had inflicted these injuries upon you.
I didn't.
And in a final display of attention-seeking behaviour, you falsely accused this man of rape. Didn't you, Miss Foster?
I didn't! I didn't. I didn't.
No further questions, Your Honour.
Diane, you have been honest and brave enough to answer these questions for us today. So can you tell the court now, on this particular occasion, did you cause these injuries to yourself?
No.
No further questions, Your Honour.
Diane! You got what you wanted. Now just leave me alone!
A statement from the Housing Department is expected later. At Birmingham Crown Court, the trial of David Walsh, accused of rape, continues. The jury has now retired to consider their verdict. The weather for the region continues hot, dry, and sticky.
Hello.
Hello.
Well done.
Thank you.
Have a drink?
Yes, please. Gin and tonic.
Right.
You're not mad at me?
No, no. You did your job. Did it well. Did everything I expected you to.
Oh, I'm glad I was so predictable.
So clinical, I feel as if I've had a tooth pulled.
Cheers.
Cheers. I knew you'd pick up on the contamination.
Well, you told me, really, didn't you?
When?
When we went out for a walk that evening and had the argument about Walsh. You said you hadn't had time to wash and change.
Hold on. I told you that.
Yes.
What, you didn't pick it up from my reports?
Oh, no, I probably would have done, but I knew already.
I'm sorry.
Paul, what's the matter? I thought we said we'd be honest with each other.
I'm sorry, I just don't believe this.
Well, what difference does it make? I'd have found out anyway.
That wasn't being professional, that was being devious.
Devious?
What? Why didn't you tell me that that's what you were going to do?
You must have thought I would pick it up from your statements. I'm only being honest telling you.
I'm sorry, I can't handle that.
fine.
Foreman of the jury, will you please stand? Members of the jury, have you reached a verdict upon which you are all agreed?
Yes.
Do you find the defendant, David Walsh, guilty or not guilty as charged?
Guilty.
You find the defendant guilty. And that is the verdict of you all?
It is.
Thank you. You may sit down.
I'd just like to say thank you.
Well, you won. Good luck.
Thanks.
You deserve it. Okay.
Diane! May I offer my congratulations?
Paul! Walsh has been found guilty. He's got 7 years.
Boozy, Boozy, come on, come on, come on, Boozy.
Al!
Hiya. Come on, Boozy.
Have you heard the good news?
No, what?
Walsh. They found him guilty. He's got 7 years.
Great.
Isn't that good news?
Brilliant.
Oh, by the way, Mark rang.
Did he?
No?
No.
Oh, shame. He looked quite nice. Come on, Boozy.